What up, y'all? It's your boy BioSpider 3.0, keeping the action going with the Marvel Legends Blade figure. What's up, guys? Sorry for the absence. I know it's been a minute since the last review, but y'all already know the drill. You know my reasoning for that, so I'm not even gonna get into that. But yeah, we're gonna keep it brief. We're gonna get straight into this review. I already got Mr. Blade out of the package, as you can see. I have the packaging here, which I'll show you in a minute. I was gonna do an unboxing originally for this review, but the way this old style packaging is for him, it's definitely a little bit harder to get him out. You know, it's not as easy as like modern day Marvel Legends packaging, where you can just, you have like the tabs and you can kind of just, slip it open and all that. This one was made out of like a purely, plastic case, and it was a pretty big box because he also comes with a poster book. So I had to basically kind of get scissors and just, cut around the bottom of the, perimeter of the card. Because it's a nice card too, I wanted to preserve it. So, I just kind of cut around the bottom again, similar to how I did like that Shocker figure. And just, slid the tray out from there. So here he is out of the packaging, as you can see. But yeah, he's dope, man. Shout outs to Anthony's Customs. He's actually the reason that I, found out about this figure in the first place. I was watching I think it was like a top 100 video that he did several years ago, like his top 100 favorite figures of all time. And, this Blade figure was featured in there. And from there, I went and watched his individual review on it. And man, I was just blown away by this figure. I had actually never seen any of the Blade movies. This is obviously based on the Wesley Snipes Blade. And I had never seen any of those old movies of Blade, at the time. So I actually recently watched 1 and 2, and I just found out that there was a third one. I thought there was only 2, but apparently there's 3 movies. Blade Trinity, I haven't seen that one as of yet, but I'm gonna get into that as soon as I can. But yeah, I love those Blade movies, man. I mean, Wesley Snipes is such a badass. I feel like the second movie, I think I like it a little more than the first, at least as of right now. Maybe after like a rewatch, I'll change my mind. But as of right now, I'm kind of liking the second movie a little bit more. But yeah, man, really dope movies. This figure is amazing, man. This is, back in the Toybiz era when Toybiz was still making Marvel Legends figures. So, you already know they do a great job with detail, sculpt. And one of the things that made me want to get this figure so bad is the head sculpt. His head sculpt is phenomenal, especially for like a 6-inch figure. This thing looks absolutely amazing, man. And to think that it's just like a normal Marvel Legends, it's not a Hot Toys or a SH Figure Arts or anything like that. Like, this is just a regular standard Marvel Legends from back in the day. And this head sculpt is freaking amazing. So, we're gonna get into all of that. But yeah, without further ado, let's first take a closer look at his accessories, and then we'll take a closer look at Blade here. So I'm gonna move him aside for just a second. So he comes with quite the slew of accessories, which I really, really like. He comes with pretty much everything he had in the movie that he used. Not everything, but everything that you would want is here. So we have his sword, which looks awesome. A very nice kind of, I guess you could say silver paint, but it's not that shiny. It's a very like matte type of silver, but it still looks really, really good. Very nice, nothing crazy going on with the blade or anything. Just, nice silver paint going throughout. Pretty clean. There's like a tiny speck right there on the blade right there. You can see that little dot, but that's fine. Can't even really notice that. And then the hilt, of course, looks very, very nice. It's like a very dark gray plastic. I wouldn't say quite black, but it looks very nice and has a lot of textured detail in there. You can see kind of like a gripping type of texture. That looks very nice, wrapped all around through the hilt. So that looks really, really dope. So he's got his sword, and he's got his glaive, which is really, really cool. I love when he throws this in the face. Oh, my bad. My bad, Joe. Slipping. Slipping as usual. All right, here we go. So we got his glaive, which is nicely done. Nice detail. Again, some kind of that silver type of paint. Got some texture going through there. Got the black in the middle. This actually kind of reminds me of like the razor bats that the Green Goblin used in the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movie. You know how they look kind of different from the ones in like Spider-Man 3, where it was just like, You know, the ones in Spider-Man 3, they just kind of had like the wings coming out on the side and they didn't really rotate. But the ones in the first Spider-Man, they kind of like rotated and swiveled around like on two separate like little rotating things, and it kind of looked like this. So it kind of reminds me of that. So I feel like if you really wanted, you could probably paint this up and do like a custom for the Green Goblin figure and kind of make it look like his razor badge that he used in that first movie. But really, really nice weapon. I like this a whole bunch. I don't think, is it articulated? No, it's not articulated. They kind of had you fooled there. If you look like right here at the black part in the middle, it kind of looks like, you know, these are on a hinge or something, but these don't move. It's stationary, but still a really nice detail, you know, and it looks really good. So very happy to have this as a nice addition for him for his weaponry. And then of course he comes with his gun, which looks pretty freaking good. And I'm not a big gun guy, so I definitely don't know the name of this particular gun, but it looks really cool. Seems like it's got a, man, I don't want to embarrass myself. I'm probably going to call all of these things, you know, the wrong terms, but I'm thinking, what is this, a magazine or a slide? I'm thinking this is the slide, I don't know. Something, this thing, you know, coming out at the bottom, a nice silver paint, and then you have the more gunmetal gray for the rest of the gun. And it's very, very nicely detailed as well. Very nice work in there. I think maybe even like a slight wash would help some of the details stand out just a little more, but it looks pretty good for what it is. I like it a whole bunch. So you should be able to hold that. And the biggest accessory he comes with, aside from the poster book, if you count that as an accessory, is his bike, which I feel like in the movies he didn't ride it that much, or maybe, I don't know, maybe I just wasn't paying attention at the scenes where he was riding his bike. But it's very cool that they threw it in here, and I really like it. It's very nicely detailed. I mean, look at this old, you can tell like this is from the Toybiz era, because just look at like all this type of like detail and stuff. You don't see this on like modern day Marvel Legends from Hasbro. I mean, look at that. All that nice kind of like rusted wear type of detail going in here on the side of the bike, and then you've got like this nice like copper color. It's like basically looks like a penny. Like the same color as like a penny, that copper color on the side of the bike. Look at all that detail on the sides. The wheel looks really nice. Now, one thing I should let you know about the wheels, for some reason, when I first got them out the package, they were kind of sticky. And I think I think it has to do with like the old plastic that they used to package this in. Because even, I'll show you the tray in a minute. The tray has kind of like a yellowish brown tinge to it. So I think the plastic kind of like, I don't know, melts over time or something, and then some of that kind of got on the wheels of the bike, which, I mean, you know, it wasn't a big deal. I was able to clean it up really quickly. All I did was basically take like a paper towel with some soap and water and just kind of, you know, scrub the wheels of the bike, and, you know, all that kind of like sticky grime came off really quick, and I just, you know, dried it, and it turned out fine. So just wanted to make you guys aware that may happen if you get yours, you know, mint on card. But yeah, very, very nicely detailed bike. I mean, it looks amazing. Look at all the details, like the spokes and everything, all the rivets in there. I mean, that looks freaking fantastic. And even, I mean, like the detail is continued like all throughout the bike. Like they didn't get lazy with the paint anywhere. Very nice, you know, detail and wear you can see again. And here's the top of the bike with the handlebars. You see it's got like some nice red paint in there. These two dots and this little control system on the top. He's got like the brakes for each side on the handles. Really, really nice bike. I love this accessory. I wish we would get, you know, more stuff like this in modern day Marvel Legends. But you know, this is like an iconic, you know, character based off of, you know, a movie and stuff, and so I guess they really wanted to go all out and give him everything, and I really, really appreciate that. And of course he has like a little kickstand, so you can kind of lean the bike to one side and it'll stay up like that, so you can have it displayed in all types of stuff. So it's gonna look dope, man. And it's actually a wall mountable motorcycle, so it's got like this little keyed section at the bottom, and if you get like a clip or something, you can actually hang it on your wall. And I know some people were kind of complaining that the key was on the bottom instead of the side of the bike. I guess, you know, they would want the bike displayed like this on their wall instead of like that. But I don't really mind it because I feel like if anything, I mean, I don't know how you would do this, but I'm thinking if you were able to get Blade on his bike, while it was on the wall, that would look more accurate because it looked like he's actually like riding on the wall, like this. Like he's not gonna be riding on the wall like that. So, but I guess for display purposes, if you just wanted the bike, then I could see you probably want it like this. But I still think it's a cool thing that they threw in there, and I really like it. Yeah, you can turn this and everything. The wheels rotate. Yeah, they get a little stuck probably from like the grime of being in the package so long, but they do rotate. You can ride his bike and everything. So that's really, really dope. I really, really like this accessory. But now let's take a closer look at Mr. Blade himself, because I'm very excited for this guy. Like I said, I've been wanting him for a while. And Blade is a very dope figure. I think Wesley Snipes was like perfect for Blade. To be honest, I didn't really know a whole lot about Blade before. Like I found out about him from Spider-Man, like a lot of the like older Spider-Man games, like Friend or Foe, and just kind of reading things about him here and there. That's kind of how I found out about Blade. And I always loved him as a character. I always thought he was pretty interesting, but I didn't even know this figure existed for so long. So I'm very happy to get into this review. So let's see. I guess first, instead of doing play and display first, I'm going to actually show you what he looks like all around so you can get a good sense of that, because he does come with this coat on him, out the package, which is really nice. He's got his nice leather coat from the movie, which looks really, really freaking good, and it's like tailored to fit him very nicely, and it's got like an amazing, like nice leathery texture to it. I mean, he just looks badass, man, like all around. You can see all the wrinkled texture in there. Like it's a very nice material that they used for his coat, and he just looks really good. But when we do the play and display, aka articulation, I am going to take the coat off just so it can be like a little bit easier, so we can really see, what type of range he gets. But yeah, he looks freaking dope. I mean, looking badass with the shades and everything. That is so dope. So now that you kind of got like a 360 look at him, I'm gonna go ahead and take his coat off, and then we'll get a better look at his play and display, because it does come off, which is a really cool feature. So I'm gonna very carefully take off his jacket. See what the best way to do this here is. Okay, there we go. Just kind of slip it over his arms here. Slip that over his hand. There we go. Ooh, what's that? Oh, there goes his his glasses. His shades. Shades for Blade. Alrighty. Slip that off. There we go. So that came out very, very nicely. And while I was doing that, his glasses actually popped off. So be aware they can come off easily, but when you get him out the package, he has like a kind of like a string or like a little rubber band, as you can see on the side of his head, that little white string. That's meant to hold his shades in place. But I lifted him up just to see like what his eyes look like, and when I did that, one of the sides of the shades kind of like separated from the string, and so it became loose after that, and then now it's just basically detached from both sides. So you can put it on there, and it has like a pretty snug fit even when it's not on the strings. But just know, like, if you lift it up or like move it around, it's gonna fall off. So let me go ahead and grab those. I dropped them. But yeah, here are his shades up close when they're not on his face, and it's basically just basic black plastic, or I don't think it's paint. I think it's just molded plastic. But yeah, very nice shades for Blade. Got the Blade shades going. So there we go. Those look really good. So I'll put those to the side, and let's look at this head sculpt up close, man, because this is one of the best head sculpts I've ever seen from Marvel Legends. Look at this. Look at the likeness for that. Isn't that insane, man? Like that is dead on dead on Wesley Snipes. I can't even talk because I'm so excited. Man, that is so So freaking accurate. I mean, just to the point. Like, there's no mistaking who that is, man. I mean, wow. Whoever sculpted this really cared about the character, and I appreciate that. That's the type of stuff that separates figures, man, like leagues apart. I mean, this dude makes some of the modern day Marvel Legends from Hasbro look like absolute trash, bro. Like, it's crazy. It's just amazing to me, how much, like a difference of passion can make in a figure, man. Because you can tell whoever made this was very passionate about capturing the likeness of Wesley Snipes in those Blade movies, and it looks amazing. And even beyond that, like the anatomy looks great too as well. Like you can see all the musculature in his arms. I mean, look at that sculpt. Nice organic sculpt for the arms and everything. You can see all the muscles and striations. Like, the sculpted detail is insane on this guy, man. I love it. Freaking love it. He's got all this great detail. I love the silver paint for these kind of like buckle things on like his vest with all the little red dots on there. Very movie accurate. I love that. These remind me of ninja stars. I'm not sure. I think in the movie he did throw something. They weren't ninja stars though. I think it was just his glaive, but I was thinking he was gonna like take these off his chest and throw them at some point. He probably did. Maybe I just missed it, but either way, they look really, really cool. Very, very nice piece. And I'm glad that they, gave them paint and everything to stand out. We've got these nice, I think these are like the silver, because when he's hunting the vampires, the weakness is like what, silver and garlic and daylight. So these are like the little silver things that he can shoot. Those are really, really cool. That's dope. I like that they included that. The paint looks very nice. You got like all the little pouches to hold each one individually. And all the sculpted detail in his pants and everything looks absolutely amazing. I love it. Oh, this is such a cool figure, man. I'm geeking out. And like Wesley Snipes really made me like, Blade as a character that much more. Just because, he did such a good job in those movies, and, I mean, he really brought the character to life for me. So I really love that. And he does have this little clip thing on his back, so you are able to, see if you guys can see that. There you go. See that little clip? You are able to plug the sword into his back, in case you were wondering. So that's a very, very dope addition there. But yeah, he looks amazing. And I don't know if you've noticed, but it seems like the paint for his like his face and neck are a little bit darker in shade compared to like his arms. But it doesn't look bad, Kind of just looks like, since his arms have been in the coat all day, they haven't been getting as much sun. So he has looks like he has a little more melanin up in his face and everything, but it's not like a huge difference, so it doesn't look bad at all, and I really, really like it. So let's finally get into play and display and see what this guy can do. All right. So now this is a really unique joint. I really like this for the head and the neck. It actually it's like the head and the neck are actually connected, but the neck seems to move on maybe like a ball joint, so he can kind of look up like that far back, and then he can look forward or down. If you really kind of force it, you can get about that far down. So I think that's decent. It's pretty good, especially for an older figure. Get it back up. Let's see, side to side. Looks like he can turn. Ooh, yeah. I think this is like an older design, so it's not gonna have quite as much fluidity as like a modern day Marvel Legends. So I guess looking to the side, he can only go about that far. And then looking to the other side, about that far. So that's some pretty good range. Just know, like, once you get to the side, you're gonna kind of have like this funny lump thing in his neck kind of sticking out. It's gonna look a little funny from certain angles, like right there. Kind of looks like he has like a droopy neck going, but it still works. It's pretty functional, so I like that. So I think that's enough range. And then for the arms, out to the side, we get, let's see, it's on a ball and hinge. This is like an older style ball and hinge joint. So you can raise it. Wow, you still get a lot of really good range from it. So you can get it up about that high, which is way better than 90. So I like that. Get it high, nice and like almost over his head. So that's really good. down by his sides. Very, very good. Looks natural as well. And of course, you can rotate it 360. Very, very nice. He does have a nice bicep swivel in there. Really good cut for the bicep swivel, so that's nice. Fluid, you got double jointed elbows. So he gets plenty of bend out of that. It looks very, very good. And he has like a very distinct cut for a forearm swivel right here. At least I think it's supposed to be a forearm swivel, maybe not. Let's see. Oh, maybe not. Mine feels like it's stuck in place. Let me try the other side. Okay, yeah. His right side seems to rotate okay. I think the left side is just frozen on my... Okay, there we go. I got it to loosen up. So yeah, he does have like a bit of a forearm swivel right here towards the wrist. It's got a little swivel right there, swivel action. And then his hand is on a hinge, so it can hinge in and out, not up and down, but it can hinge in and out. So that's nice. Very, very good. Does he have any ab crunch? Ooh, he does, and it's actually very well hidden. Like, you can't even tell that he would have an ab crunch. It looks like the way they did the sculpt, it's so like organic that you would never think he has an ab crunch, but he actually does. So you can crunch, and you can get him going about that far forward, which is all right. Move his arms out the way so you can see that a little bit better. And then crunching backwards. Let's see. You can get him going. It kind of springs back into place, so not as much range going backwards, but kind of just springs back, but that's all right. At least he gets, you know, the forward crunch, which is kind of nice, so that's really good. And then let's see here. For the legs, they are kind of like on those joints, kind of similar to the black suit Spider-Man figure that I have, which I'm going to review that for you guys pretty soon, just so you guys can get a sense of that figure, because I really like that figure. I think it's underrated. But anyways, he has like a similar joint style for the legs, so you kind of have to, let's see, you can get him going all the way up, but you do kind of have to like manipulate this ball and hinge joint in here, because otherwise I don't think it's gonna, let's see, out to the, like out to the side, it won't really go unless you, unless you manipulate that ball and hinge. Okay, there you go. Yeah, there we go. So now we got him doing a nice split. I actually didn't really have to manipulate it, so maybe not. Maybe I spoke too soon. But yeah, he can get like a perfect split. I mean, look at that. That is like the most perfect splits I've ever seen. That is like a pure 90-degree angle right there. So you get that. See, let's see if we can get him on both sides. Yup, there you go. Check that out. Wee! Pure split action. Now that is clean. That's what's up. So he's very flexible, which is dope. Because, you know, in the movies, he's very agile and athletic. So it kind of goes hand in hand with him. So that's really dope. I'm starting to notice, though, as I maneuver his legs around, some of the, I guess this hinge in his leg was kind of covered in black paint at first. And I guess some of that is starting to rub off as I move the hinge around. So you can see there's actually like black like skin tone where that hinge is. So just be aware that, you know, some of the paint right there might start flaking off, but shouldn't be too much, shouldn't be a big deal. He's got double jointed knees. So you can go about that far back and, you know, back down. And he does have a hinge in the foot that, let's see, if you force it, I don't want to force it, you know, any more than that, but you can get it pretty much going down that far, going up about that far before it runs into the sculpt of his pants. So that's not bad. And then he has a toe joint. So up and down toe joint. And let's see, any ankle rocker or swivel? Doesn't feel like it. Yeah, like a very slight amount. I'll show it better on his right leg. I guess it works a little smoother on his right leg. He has just the slightest amount of ankle pivot. So there you go. So that's really good. Did I show him going back? Legs don't really go back that far. They go about, kind of run into the sculpt, so they go about that far back. So not too much range there, but it still looks really, really good. Damn, I love this figure, man. It's so freaking dope. Like I said, I've wanted it for a while, so it's definitely hitting the mark for me. In case you wanted to see what the packaging looks like, first I'll show you the tray. This is the tray that he came in with all the accessories. You can see it's got like this kind of yellowish brownish tint to it. And I think that's just kind of like this old plastic. I mean, there's no telling how many years, you know, he's been in this box. But, you know, it's kind of got like this old plastic. It even smells like old plastic. Like as soon as I opened it out of the box, I just got like, I don't know if you guys have ever like smelled that smell, but it's like a very distinct, you know, smell of old plastic. But that's what this smelled like when I first got him out of the box. And here is the actual card that he came in. And as you can see, he's got his poster book in the back, which looks really, really awesome. I would have preferred that he came with like a comic, like an old school comic, you know, but this is still really cool. I've seen somebody else review this. Basically, this kind of just has like shots from like the movie and stuff, or like behind the scenes, but it's still really dope. You know, I left it in the card just for this review, but eventually I'll take it out and take a look at it and put it back in there. As you can see, I kept the card, you know, as nice as I could without damaging it too much. Super posable. You see right there, it says 34 points of articulation. You can obviously tell this is old style packaging. I mean, look at the logo, Marvel Legends Blade. And it is made by Toybiz, as you can see right there in the corner that says Toybiz. See, bonus 20-page poster book, and a wall mountable motorcycle, which we took a look at. And here's the back. Look at the back with all the I guess other figures in this wave at the time when this figure came out. And it kind of gives you a biopic on Blade, which it's very hard to get in the camera because it's such a big box, but it's right there at the top left corner, so, or right, I guess. So if you want to read that, go ahead and pause it now. But yeah, I'm loving this figure, man. It's dope. It is freaking dope. What a dope figure, man. Absolutely love it. So I'm going to put his coat back on so we can see that. Or actually here, I'll first show you what he looks like with his sword in his back without the coat. And then I'll show you what he looks like with the coat. How about that? And the clip doesn't seem to